We've got an ex-judge to tackle campus censors, Gideon. Now, you are at the IPA. Yes. You do a terrific job there. Great team you've got there that look at what is going on in the universities. So, good news?
Excellent news. This is a really, really good step. My brilliant colleague Matthew Lesh has done a lot of work on this, and he did most recently a free speech on campus audit, which, using his methodology, assigned red for very hostile campuses, or amber and green for ones that respect free speech. There's one campus in the country that respects free speech, and 80% of campuses have red ratings. I've got a few examples of what universities get up to. At Federation Uni, bullying in their code is hurting somebody's feelings. At La Trobe, bullying includes unintentional offence or emotional injury, because as Dennis Miller says, we've raised a generation of emotional haemophiliacs. And here's the kicker. Several Australian universities ban sarcasm because it's a form of violence. I mean, I went to Melbourne University. It wasn't a particularly right-wing institution when I was there, but I knew that I could push the boundaries. I could be a right-wing ratbag and say whatever I like. If I tried that on now, I'd probably be expelled.
Oh, yeah? Sarcasm's a form of violence now? Well, that makes sense, doesn't it, geniuses? Oh, there it goes. That's my chance of an Australian university tour out of the window. And the thing is, it's not like Australia's universities aren't going quite far left as it is. Apparently, as they said, 80% of them have free speech problems. And you get ridiculous stuff like this. Banning gender-specific words like Mr., Mrs. and sportsmanlike after it's revealed that students are taught to say Australia was invaded by the British, as if Australia was a nation before the British arrived. But yes, this was back in 2016, and I guess the problem has only gotten worse. Sarcasm is a form of violence now, is it? Any kind of hurt feeling is something that the authorities, the institutional authorities, need to get involved with, is it? Come on. I mean, come on, this is surely the most ridiculous thing we've seen so far coming out of university. I mean, clicking, okay, ridiculous, but okay. It's not saying sarcasm is violence. It's saying people can be scared by clapping. Maybe, I've had a room full of people clapping. It can be intimidating, I suppose, if you're a giant pussy. But really, sarcasm is a form of... You're not even allowed to be sarcastic. Do you think there's anything these people won't go after? Anything that doesn't somehow infringe on someone's feelings that they won't go for? That they won't come and say, right, you've got to stop doing that. We're going to police that behaviour. You're not allowed to be a rat bag on a university anymore in Australia. This is just so, on the face of it, ridiculous. That it's just like, okay, Australia... Who is doing this? You need to find the people that in the institutions who are doing this and get them in the public eye. Show them on TV what they say, what they think, the reason that they have for calling sarcasm a form of violence. I could take a guess. They're going to say something like, well, words can cause hurt feelings, and hurt feelings cause pain. Pain is a form of violence, therefore sarcasm is violence and must be banned from the university. Imagine trying to fucking ban sarcasm. This is actually even more dumb than Mike Stuckbury banning banter from his classroom before he was fired for being an annoying pain in the arse. This is just such... banning banter is way more likely than banning sarcasm. Like, sarcasm is such a mild and inoffensive thing. Oh yeah, well done, genius. That's just... It's so much less offensive than some kind of banter can be. And I don't think banter should be banned, let alone sarcasm, let alone... it's all just going to be hearsay. Imagine the students going, well, I was talking to this teacher, but he was sarcastic to me. I was hurt. I was really hurt. I couldn't stop crying. I think this teacher needs to be disciplined for his sarcasm. I guess the only thing to do is to do what this author has done and just quote John Peterson at them, because, who else are you going to speak to about this? It's hard to make people safe because life is seriously not safe. The way you make people resilient is by exposing them to things they're afraid of and make them uncomfortable voluntarily, but use exposure. Voluntary, afraid of sarcasm, I guess. Something is going to have to be done, isn't it? It's not like we haven't said this enough, but what kind of adult life are they being prepared for? What on earth, how do you think you can operate in the real world? Imagine you're at work and you're sarcastic to someone, and then they say to you, right, you need to now have a disciplinary hearing of some kind because you were sarcastic. At what point do we say that this has gone too far? Even Sky News were mocking the idea, Sky News Australia, that is. They might be really right-wing, I don't know, I don't watch Sky News Australia. But I certainly know that the left-wing Sky News wouldn't be thinking that. But yeah, this is just silly. I'm sorry I don't have more on this one. I could have probably gone and found lots of oversensitive examples of snowflakes on campuses, screaming and crying and breaking down because apparently the campus environment is just too tough for them to deal with. And it's not that they're complete pussies, and instead of telling them to toughen up, they're actually feeding into it, which is making it worse. Oh no, it's that Australian university campuses are just an absolute nightmare. I'd be careful if I were you. I mean, they are in the process of getting really, really woke, and so I'm just saying, make your financial decisions accordingly.